are 40 protectees of the Secret Service, and I'm afraid because of politics, incompetence, DEI, you name it, these protectees are at risk, and Trump specifically. Next up is the other crisis, one of many, facing Washington, D.C., which is the corrupt incompetence of the Secret Service that nearly has gotten Trump killed not once but twice. And Judicial Watch has been second to none in investigating these issues. FOIA after FOIA, at least 24 plus FOIAs. We've gotten documents from the local officials and police departments up in Pennsylvania that the media hasn't gotten, including pictures and audio recordings of the radio communications of the local police. Pretty incredible material. We've sued for records about the Secret Service's refusal to provide protection to President Trump. We've been stonewalled, though, on virtually everything from the FBI, on virtually everything we've asked for about the assassination attempt from the FBI and the Secret Service. So that's been kind of a battle. I'm not quite sure how and if we're going to sue on that because the courts are so skeptical, or so, I shouldn't say skeptical, especially in Washington, D.C., the courts are deferential, outrageously, to the FBI and DOJ on these law enforcement issues. So that's going to be a challenge. But there are other issues related to the failures of the Secret Service that Judicial Watch has been pursuing. And I talked about this issue just a few weeks ago here on The Update, or we ran a clip of a post I put up on social media. Let's run that.
Incredible. Nearly a month to the day after they nearly got him killed, there's been another Secret Service security breakdown surrounding President Trump. Susan Crabtree of Real Clear Investigations reported a female agent left her post at a Trump event just before he got there, didn't tell anyone to go breastfeed her child. And she brought her family back behind the security perimeter with her without pushing them through and having the Secret Service and other security vet them. Incredible breakdown in security, again, by the Biden-Harris Secret Service. They're going to get Trump killed unless this issue is treated like the emergency it is. Now, in the meantime,
so, you know, I don't just come on and talk about this. I mean, I talk about these issues in part to educate you, but also to report to you that we are actually investigating what I'm talking about. And we just sued for records on that very issue. And it's all due to the disclosure of an independent reporter, Susan Crabtree. If you're not following her on Twitter or online, I encourage you to do so. It's at Susan Crabtree, so that makes that easy. And she posted the following tweet report on this, and I'll read in part from it. Shortly before Trump's motorcade arrival, I'm told 5 minutes beforehand, the site agent was getting ready for the arrival, and that person's in charge of the entire event security, and this is in North Carolina. And he does one final sweep of the walking route and found the agent at issue breastfeeding her child in a room that is supposed to be set aside for important Secret Service official work, i.e. a potential emergency incident related to the president. A working agent on duty cannot bring a child to a protective assignment. I think that goes without saying, right? And the agent was in the room with 2 other family members. The agent and her family members bypassed the Uniform Division checkpoint and were escorted by an unpinned event staff into the room to breastfeed. Unpinned means they have not been cleared by the Secret Service to be there. So no one was cleared to be there. Her family wasn't there. She had left her post. And now there's a stonewall about the scandal. So Susan pushes the report out, and then Judicial Watch filed a FOIA request, and this report was pushed out on what day? I can't tell from the tweet. In August. I guess it must have been in August, because it was a month after the assassination attempt. So we almost immediately filed a FOIA request to the Department of Homeland Security, which is the agency in which the Secret Service resides, on August 15th. So we wanted to know, give us all records about that event. And not only that, we want records from the top leadership of the Secret Service about that event. And they denied our request. They simply just denied it within a week, which is pretty unusual. Usually either they ignore it or take a little longer to deny it. So we sued. It's what we do. We don't sue every time, but we think people's lives are on the line here. President Trump's life is on the line. I think President Biden's life is on the line. I think President Obama's life is on the line. Bill Clinton's, Jimmy Carter's, George W. Bush's. All protectees. There are 40 protectees of the Secret Service, and I'm afraid because of politics, incompetence, DEI, you name it, these protectees are at risk, and Trump specifically, because there's this political animus against him, I think, by leadership in the agency and their bosses in the Biden, I'm transposing, the Biden-Harris administration. Maybe I should just call it Hayden for short, right? Another reason to get our new book, Rights and Freedoms in Peril, because we go through the Secret Service scandals. And this was even before the assassination. I mean, you won't believe what the Secret Service has been doing in terms of allowing its agents to be bitten repeatedly by Joe Biden's dog 25 times. His dogs bit Secret Service agents and they did nothing. And we wouldn't even known about it but for Judicial Watch. Or Obama's chef dying and the Secret Service having no working equipment to try to rescue him, no working boats. This book is going to knock your socks off in that regard. And of course, since then, we've been investigating and exposing the Secret Service DEI insanity. Every action, every day, has to advance the DEI agency, the DEI agenda in the Secret Service. Every action, every day. And I'm not just summing it up. That's literally the quote from the documents. So pray for President Trump. Not that he gets elected. I mean, you can if you'd like, but pray for his safety. Because this Secret Service is out of control. I mean, they get an agent who abandons her post, reportedly, and we ask basic questions about it, and we can't get answers. What else is out there is what I want to know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.